let's talk about tip number 3 we have here.
Okay,
so
good.
Food prep, yeah. So my tip number 3, make as much in advance as possible. So that's what I do. I try to like prep all ahead of time so I don't have to worry about like the day of like running around like a turkey with my head cut off. So I usually work backwards. So I start with desserts because desserts are really easy to make ahead of time. I'll make my pie crust even like a week or 2 ahead, and I'll make it and I'll freeze it. And then when I thaw it out overnight, I can make the pie crust, roll it out, cook it, and then I can actually do the pie ahead of time as well. Stick it in the fridge, let it chill for a day or 2. It's perfectly fine. That's what I like to do.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. And so you start at the end of the menu. I usually start making a timeline like the end of the meal. So not the end of the meal, but when I want to serve the meal, and I kind of go back of like, what do I need to cook when? When do I need to put things in the oven that day? What can I do the day before? What can I do the day before that? Usually the very first thing I cook is the cranberry sauce because I can make cranberry sauce 5-7 days in advance. I'll put it right into the bowl I'm going to serve it in, cover it with plastic wrap, stick it in the back of the fridge, and it is ready to go from fridge to table.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. The other thing I do is I actually prep all my ingredients ahead of time. So I will sit there and I'll chop my onions, I'll chop my celery, I'll cut up the cubes of bread or whatever. And what I do is I just store everything in a sealable plastic bag, and then I just mark what it is, exactly pre-measured, like half a cup of onions with a permanent marker. And then that way, when it's time for me to actually make something, I just pull it out, empty the bag right into the pan, the Anolon pan, and then it's good to go. There you go.
Yeah, and that makes prepping your ingredients ahead of time, which you can do ahead.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Onions,
and it makes the cooking part so much easier to not be chopping and cutting on the fly.
Like not a lot of people like this, but I actually like to chop and prep. You know, like I feel very zen. I'm in the light zone, like chopping, cutting away. But like when I have to do it under pressure, that is not a good idea for me. Yeah, so I just want to like have that chill time. You know, what's great about the Anolon Vestaware is that it looks really beautiful, and you can put it in the microwave or in the oven and pull it out and just pull it. So that's also super easy.
Perfect.